We were just in shock to see so many a classic and rare Ferraris that we missed an entire row.
You could spend hours and not probably learn everything about these cars.
It's got 1,064 horsepower. Like it's mind-blowing performance. Yeah.
So the reason for them to do what they did with the mid-engine layout was to unlock that 1,000 horsepower potential. Yeah. So you got to give it to Ford. This is the first time that they put this car on the Nürburgring and did
sub 7 minutes.
Under.
Yeah, sub
656. Yeah,
656 or something like that.
This car is really based on aero. Like there's so much aero, the tray, the venting, the DRS wing, like the diffuser.
It's not about what money you have or who you are. It's about how you're going to use the car.
It's a big old V8 with a solid clutch and manual transmission. Nice wheels, nice brakes, great seats inside.
660 horsepower.
Yeah, and it is a manual.
It's a quick shifting 10-speed on that.
No,
how is this roadworthy?
Don't get hit by one because you get chopped in half.
Palmer has definitely turned into a more of a show brand than a utilitarian brand.
I was genuinely surprised by the Nissan Z. With the Nismo package, totally appealing to me. The interior just felt so cheap. I wanted to get out of there.
The big thing is that this is NA and the Supra is turbocharged. So I think the B58 is a superior motor, to be honest. I think it drives better.
I hear 60% of all new Supras were ordered manual.
Almost more balanced. No stripes. You could see the hood on yellow much better.
Yeah. The car will be in the landfill and you'll still be making payments on it.
We were planning to do a little podcast in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
But then we almost crashed.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Car Talk. Last week, or actually this week.
Last weekend?
Yeah, I guess the last episode.
Yesterday.
The last episode we did was Lucas's Dilemma. Turned out pretty good. Lots of very good comments.
Good feedback.
Good feedback.
Good comments.
Now, hopefully that gives you some closure in terms of what you're doing.
Case closed.
And I think we knew who had the best picks for winter cars.
I absolutely failed that one.
Yeah.
Either way, so in this episode, we're going to talk about the Montreal Auto Show. The three of us went along with John Chimere, and it was actually nice.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. My first time there. I know you guys have been.
Yeah.
But they put on a good show there.
I can't believe it's your first time since you've been in Ottawa.
Yeah.
First time at the Montreal show?
That's right. Yeah. I've gone to the Toronto show faithfully. And then when I moved up this way, never made my way there.
Okay. So in this one, we'll talk about the top 3 highlights from the show. And then at the end, we'll talk about the things that we didn't like about it. And we'll also talk about Eric, him needing a whole new daily driver for Lydia, his wife.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about some options that he's considering and what he should perhaps get as a daily driver.
Truthfully, that was a bit of my motivation to go to the auto show. Maybe I was hoping to get inspired. Yeah.
And did you?
I think I muddied the waters. It's more confusing than ever.
Hey, let's muddy it up even further in this episode. So let's dive in. Let's start with the Montreal Auto Show. Highlights. Top 3 highlights for you guys from the show. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so...
If you're ready, that is.
Yeah, I can be ready. I was impressed by the show. I'll start with just the show itself. I'd highly recommend going, although there weren't some of the bringer brand names that we were hoping to see, like Porsche, Audi. But I think it made up for it in other ways. So the first highlight for me would be the Ferrari collection. I've never seen a collection together.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Ferraris, the Poirier collection. And I looked it up after. I think he's got a $200 million collection, and he's kind enough to share it with the audience in Montreal. You've got Enzo, like an Enzo, an F40, an F50, 250 GTO Daytona. It's like a $50 or $70 million car.
Yeah.
You've got an F1, the 2004. I mean, Ferrari. Everyone knows I'm a Formula One Ferrari fan. So to see the 2004 World Drivers' Championship car. Oh yeah. He's got that. There it is. There. You got a Pirosang, a LaFerrari. I can't even possibly name them all.
And the funny thing is, we actually, after reviewing like all the footage I got, we missed an entire row.
Right.
We didn't walk past the far wall.
No way.
There were so many cars, and I think we were just in shock to see so many a classic and rare Ferraris that we missed an entire row.
So I feel like this is much bigger than 2 years ago, or even last year, perhaps.
The Ferrari collection is definitely bigger.
Yeah.
Would it be like I know David Lee and the Sultan of Brunei, and there's some notable car collectors that have great collections, but for Ferrari, this has to be up there.
Yeah.
Would this be I compared against like Ralph Lauren's collection? I'm gonna take that away and maybe see if I can dig into that. But the SP Monza,
Unreal.
Especiale, of course, which doesn't feel very especial against those other cars, but just an incredible. There's a TDF in the background. Yeah, you're right. Didn't even see
So that whole row.
Yeah, we didn't even go
Testarossas,
there.
TDFs. You know, they're all like even the 599s there. The 57, the 550 Maranello's there. Like a lot of cool cars.
Incredible.
There's a 550 Spider there. Like we didn't walk down the entire row.
Yeah. So that was highlight number one. You could spend hours and not probably learn everything about these cars. The second one I really liked, it was the McLaren Arturo, that blue McLaren Arturo. I don't know if you got pictures of that, Prabul.
Oh,
Yeah.
right here.
There it is. Yeah.
No, that's a
That's not it?
720.
No,
Right there.
that's
it's behind the
Oh, it's
gentleman.
behind
in the
there,
green.
behind the gentleman. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I thought, what a nice car. Like, I like that car. The
Great
color,
size.
the great
It's a hybrid.
size.
It's a V6 hybrid.
Oh, you killed it for me.
No?
No, it's not a hybrid. He's scaring you. It's a mild hybrid. It's just hybrid technology. It's not like you don't charge this car. You just
I haven't typically sort of,
Eric's allergic to EVs. It's just like
I just typically haven't pined for the McLaren brand. Like, they're nice cars. I definitely appreciate them. That 720 spec, the silver
one.
with the orange, that was cool.
Yeah.
But it's a car that I could see myself owning. The Artura, that was
It's a 3-liter V6 electric.
Okay.
Electric means hybrid.
It's a torque.
It's a
kill.
plug-in
Yes.
hybrid.
Yeah.
Plug-in hybrid. Okay. Anyways, that was the form of the car. I actually walked away thinking I could see myself enjoying that car the way that we enjoy cars. So that was maybe highlight number two that I wasn't really expecting. And then maybe something like I like the Hummer EV, but I know you guys are going to talk about it. So I'll just add on when you talk about it, because then we were all enthralled by
I think
the Hummer EV.
yeah.
I think we all like that. I like the ZR1.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I changed my mind a little bit about. I love what
Corvette
they
in
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The front hood on the ZR1 is such a it's beautiful. How they took the mass out of it. It's 1,000 horsepower. Everyone knows. And I know the Mustang GTD is also going to come up. So I'm just going to put this out there. I would still take this over the GTD.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really?
Yep, I would.
Wow. Big word. Well, I mean, to be honest, this is, I think it wasn't as impressive as I hoped it was going to be because of the spec.
That was
the color.
The color,
Yeah.
the trim, it's a Spider. It doesn't have a wing. It has, it's black. It doesn't really pop.
I love that. I think that's the best angle in the car.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have the 3LZ packages on the ZR1 or how they come spec, but it didn't look like a ZR1 from far. Like, you'd have to come up close and see.
I think the hood's a dead giveaway.
The hood is, but other than that, it has a lot of Z06 vibes.
Like, here's the E-Ray.
That's the E-Ray.
Like, imagine ZR1 came in that blue with like
Yeah,
something.
you can
You can
spec it
spec it
differently,
that
but I like if you can see past that. I just like it's an impressive car. It is a supercar, maybe borderline hypercar, and it's 108 for the 3LZ. I think the MSRP it's like 180,000 US. So call it 270, probably Canadian.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
I didn't even look up the price.
it's literally. I think it competes. It's got 1,064 horsepower. Like, it's mind blowing performance.
So would you forgive the fact that it's no longer a manual?
I think
Now that the car is in the
cannot
front.
be a
It
manual.
can't. The performance was
Yeah.
far too great.
What was it? The previous generation, the chassis was basically the bottleneck or the limitation for the power.
You're saying the C7
Yes.
chassis, front engine, rear. Yes.
Yeah.
Rear wheel
So
drive.
the reason for them to do what they did with the mid-engine layout was to unlock that 1,000 horsepower potential.
Better
plus.
balanced car.
So do you think they went in a good direction? Because people will, even myself, I was complaining about the Corvette losing its Corvette heritage, going mid-engine, changing the looks completely, losing the rear taillights. But seeing this and knowing what it can do, I think they made the right move, to be honest, because that's the only way to compete with higher makes.
I've not been a C8 fan up until this moment.
Yeah.
Like I've never been tempted until I saw it. Now I could say some of the Z06 in the spec could also interest me, but I was really impressed by that car. So those would be my three kind of wow moments in the car show. If I could give you a low light, or I'll save those till the end.
Save that to the end.
All right.
So those are the two highlights. So for you, it was three.
Ferrari collection,
The
McLaren Artura, and the ZR1.
The ZR1. Yeah. Awesome. So I think the Ferrari collection is unanimously the highlight for all of us.
Yeah.
How about let's move it on to you?
So obviously the Ferrari collection. I'm not going to talk too much about that because we kind of discussed that with Eric and yourself just now. But two of the cars that really impressed me were the Mustang.
Oh, the GTD.
You don't say.
It was impressive. And you know what? I watched...
For the people watching us home, we stood at this venue for probably 30 minutes.
Yeah, we spoke about the car.
Yeah. So the only thing is you couldn't walk behind the car, which I was a bit disappointed in. I mean, the guy took my camera and started shooting some photos from the back.
He was great about it. Yeah.
He was very helpful. He was very knowledgeable. He was actually with Ford Canada, I'm assuming, because they travel Canada with the car. Yeah. So he was, educated on the car and what it can do. But the details that you see up close, it's different when you see them in person. Like the overall width of the car, the rear quarters, the window in the back seat with the suspension being displayed, the 16-inch carbon ceramics, like all these
15,
things.
I think. 15-inch, I think.
16.
16. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was impressive. Even I like the front bumper. It was very like the main vent is on the bottom. And then the sides under the headlight are just kind of like body lines, fluid aerodynamic.
Then other than the doors, everything's carbon fiber.
Everything.
All the quarters carbon fiber. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, like that view, the rear quarter. Look how wide that car is.
It's mega.
It's massive. The only part that I didn't like about it is the part you can't see here, but the rear exhaust tips.
Oh, I mean, that's changeable.
Yeah,
they're square tips.
They're
right?
like big square chrome tips.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem fitting for a car like this. Like everything's carbon and gray, and then they put chrome tips. Like I don't know. Like it's just like Mario Andretti, like Magnaflow tips from Canadian Tire.
So you got to give it to Ford. This is the first time that they put this car on the Nürburgring and did
sub 7 minutes.
Under.
Yeah, sub 7.
Yeah.
758 or something like that?
656 or something like that.
So that's like GT3 RS, 991.1 GT3 RS.
Well, it better be for the price because I 445,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
For a Mustang.
But that's almost on par with the new GT3 RS.
Yeah. It's
not far off.
992 GT3 RS. So here's the question that you're asking. You have 450K, almost 500 grand of a car. You can probably modify it, tweak it, add paint to it or whatever.
I don't think you want to modify this.
No. I mean, from when you spec the car.
Oh, yes.
There's things you can add to it.
Of course.
Cranks it over 425 or whatever, right? So just like the Porsche 911, they're all going to go up to like 500 by the time you get out the door. Taxes, luxury tax and all that. If you had that much money to spend, would you be buying this car or the GT3 RS?
So a good thing to
or
bring up. Or
half price ZR1.
There you go. That
totally.
too.
And the ZR1 and the ZR1one will outperform this.
Well, let's just not.
No, it will. Here. It will.
I don't think so.
We don't know that.
Not on a track. I think
everything you read on this is saying it will.
Wait, does the ZR1 have a Nürburgring time?
No,
not yet.
That's why we can't just say it'll smoke it because it might not on Nürburgring track.
I bet it will.
Yeah,
a ZR1.
Okay, so
because this car is really based on aero. Like there's so much aero, the tray, the venting, the DRS wing, like the diffuser. You can't see in the photo here even, but there's no functional trunk. There's air scoops that go through the trunk and exit in the rear to bring them back down.
That's for more downforce, not cooling.
But consider this: it's front engine, rear wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they have aero at the back to.
No, I know, but like
it's 50-50 distribution.
Yeah, it's still a limitation, right?
So I think this is a great achievement by Ford
Mm-hmm.
for a Mustang to be able to do this. From what it was, I mean, you've had Mustangs for.
I'm the only one at this table who's I've had two, and I love Mustangs.
Yeah,
and I do like this. I just. I think it's awfully expensive.
Mm-hmm. It is expensive. $500,000 Canadian Mustang is crazy. But this has all the bells and whistles a GT3 RS would offer you.
Yeah.
Active aero, carbon ceramics, bucket seats, lightweight, carbon fiber everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
So let's.
It's cool, but it should like call it something like a Mustang. The soul of a Mustang was bang for
Bang for buck.
Yeah. This is your.
But again, this
I've
is not
given
really
you
a
a buck, I'm
Mustang.
getting
This,
banged.
this is really like a specialty car.
there's only 200 or 2,000.
2000. So that's what makes it special in terms of even potentially.
We're calling 2000 limited production.
Yeah,
I mean,
Is that what limited
Ford
production is
GT,
now?
how many did they make?
I don't know. But let's just say the number's 2000. There's going to be more GT3 RSs. This is going to be a rare car. I don't see this car depreciating that much, maybe even appreciating in the future.
Their track record with these special Mustangs, I don't think is good though. Like the KR, they did a KR in 07, 08, and they were selling I think 300 grand or something.
I
And
don't
they're-
think it's the same category.
Yeah, this is
No, I get no for sure. This is a race
is a
purpose
first-
Mustang
yeah.
serious. Those other ones were just they would put
Body kits.
crazy horsepower and ground effects on a Mustang.
Yeah.
But there have been ones that have been wide body and have gone. I think they were selling at 250, even in Ottawa at the Ford dealership there, selling Mustangs for 250. But you can see some trade. They don't trade. Those same cars don't trade well over 100,000 now.
So
Is that the fate of this? I don't know.
you were saying?
Yeah, I get Eric's point, but those were really like modified Mustangs.
Yeah.
They weren't. This is an engineered,
Ground up.
ground up car from Ford.
From Multimatic, the same
Multimatic,
people
yeah.
that brought us the Ford GT, and they do a lot of
Built
suspension work
in
for other
Ontario,
cars.
Canada. By the
Tested
way.
at Calabogie
Markham,
Motorsports.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Markham, Ontario.
So this is the thing. Ford GT was such a success.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, it playing the same recipe, and I think it's going to be a great success for Ford as well.
I think they'll sell every one of them.
Oh, it's already clean.
Right. They still have the allocation or application process where how are you going to use the vehicle?
Yes.
So they have 700 for the coming year, all claimed for.
Yeah. Sold.
The next 700,
Already reserved.
well, the guys made it seem like there's hope for.
He says there's all the applications are in, and now they're going through the
Did
applications.
he say that Jay Leno got declined on
Yes,
this?
that's what he
because you're not going to just get this car and put it amongst
So
1,000 other
here's
cars
what the guy was saying,
in your
right?
collection.
Yeah, exactly. So he was saying it's not about what money you have or who you are. It's
how
about
you
how
use it.
you're going to use the car. If it's going to sit in a garage, they don't want that. If you're going to be tracking it, setting, improving your driving or taking it to charity events and showcasing the car, that's the kind of stuff that they want to see, and they will give you the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Jay Leno didn't get it, because he gets the car. It's going to just sit in a garage as a collector car, right?
Yeah.
But amazing car.
Yeah. Great car.
I do love the paint on it. We didn't talk about that. That was like incredible paint.
So it did look kind of gray, but right at the front fender when you move up, other I guess there too. It has like a blue pearl to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually really nice. Yeah.
Zandvoort Blue.
Is that what it's called?
No,
that's your BMW.
Gotcha. No, I'm kidding.
Individual Mustang.
There you go.
Yeah. So great car. Moving on, the next car that kind of impressed me for the price and I guess what you're getting. I've seen at prior car shows in last year, the year before, but it was the Cadillac CT4, CT5 Blackwing.
The Blackwing.
Oh,
Yeah. Nope. Not the TRX.
You spelled it right there.
there you go.
Yeah, so that's a CT4,
Yeah.
and they had a CT5 as well. But it looks nice. Compact, great sports sedan, great clutch, great shifter, nice feel. Obviously, we haven't driven the car, but it's such a great recipe. It's a big old V8 with a solid clutch and manual transmission. Nice
seats.
wheels, nice
Look at the
brakes,
seats.
great seats inside.
Technology's amazing.
Tech is nice. I think the CT5 was nicer overall inside than the CT4.
What's the horsepower on that?
I don't know.
Would it be 480 something?
Yeah,
like that?
look up CT5 Blackwing.
No,
CT4.
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 Or CT5. They're both.
So someone was saying that the CT4 wasn't a V8. So I want to confirm that that's not
okay.
the case.
So CT5 is the Blackwing are V8s from what I understand.
The CT5 Blackwings are V8.
Yeah, you're right.
So 472 horsepower.
yeah.
For the CT4.
Oh, it's a V6.
So look up CT5. Well, no, you have the option of V8. Just go to CT5.
Yeah, but it's not a manual.
Yeah, it is.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Yeah, that one wasn't. It has an optional 10-speed automatic, but it comes base manual.
Really?
Yes. The CT5 Blackwing is a manual. And there's
670 horsepower.
yeah.
Where?
Wow.
Out of
The CT5 Blackwing.
holy smokes, man.
668
Yeah,
horsepower.
and it is a manual.
It's a quick shifting 10-speed
That's an
automatic. Oh, it is
optional.
optional. Okay.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Eh?
The one
You
that
can
show
get-
was.
Yeah. So isn't that like, to me, that's very impressive. And you know what? It looks fantastic.
I think it looks.
It's a great
amazing.
looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people shit on Cadillac or
Do
you
people
know,
shit on Cadillac?
a little bit.
Well, recently, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
the Germans have taken over.
Well,
the
they're
luxury
also known
sedan.
for their trucks and the Escalade and other cars. Like when you think of sports sedan, you're not looking at a Blackwing really. Like it's not your first choice, but to be honest, it's a great car, and I think it's. I mean, the performance, even if the numbers aren't on par with like a G80 M3, I think it'd be more fun to drive in manual configuration than a G80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. If this
And
is
I
in
think
manual,
for value too, like a manual sports sedan, like you're not going to lose money on that car.
Yeah.
Right.
oh,
It's an endangered
Is it an
species.
LS9? What's in it then? What's the
supercharged V8, DI, VVT, active fuel
Okay.
management. I don't know what that is.
I think it's one of the
Yeah.
the latest LS.
Anyways, great car. Really impressed with it.
Okay, so for you, it was Ferrari collection.
Well, Ferrari was. Let's just say that's
Okay,
all of our collection,
Okay.
all of our points. So
GTD.
GTD, Cadillac, and I gotta throw in that Hummer. I
right.
gotta throw the Hummer in.
Wait, is that your
Third.
Third.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It was
see.
honestly, it was, and not because I like the Hummer just as a brand, but for an EV big truck in comparison to, I think I went there looking at it, comparing it to the Tesla Cybertruck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it blew the doors off the Cybertruck. Like it's not even a comparison, to be honest. If I was spending money on a truck EV, I wouldn't like the Hummer is the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah. The finish on it was great. Their deal, like the person we talked to, clear there's incentives to buy them. They're
Yes.
willing to make a deal. I think it was MSRP's 147, but I think you had to made a good offer. You could have driven home in that for like 110.
Yeah. And you know what? The first thing he mentioned, well, not the first thing, but he mentioned that it was 3,000 pounds heavier
Right.
than a Cybertruck.
That's right.
And at first I was like, that's insane.
Oh.
Sorry.
Beep.
That's insane.
Demonetized. Thanks, Bath Matt.
Yeah. So anyways, he said that it was 3,000 pounds heavier.
He called you Batman.
Whatever.
What do you call me?
He called you Batman.
Adam's polishes. How dare you? Yeah. So 3,000 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
And then when you go see the Tesla Cybertruck and you see the control arms, thin sheet metal.
I know, it's unreal.
Everything is so.
He chalked up the weight to be because it was the better battery system,
Yeah.
a bigger battery system, that better range,
Yeah.
better charging things like
And I mean, I think it is when you sat inside the Hummer, everything felt definitely more sturdy and premium. The Cybertruck just felt like it was inside was empty. There's nothing there. Cheap console, cheap seats. The control arm was honestly, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
that was. It almost looked like dangerous.
I
Like
know.
how was this roadworthy?
Don't get hit by one because you get chopped in half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the Hummer, it felt special and cool.
yeah.
You know, I know people love the Tesla Cybertruck because of its cool factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when you see this in person, the size of it, it's bigger than a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
It has much bigger presence.
Yeah.
Lots more space. Open top concept.
Beautiful interior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
just-
that one, the top comes off, which we didn't even mention yet, but you can remove the roof panels front and back. Like, you're going out with your family or even with friends somewhere, and you take the roof off, keep the doors on, but cool experience,
I've said it like that is how EVs. If you are an EV customer in the market, it's the big vehicles they should be making EV, not Priuses.
But you know the downside with something like
Don't you dare talk about my Prius.
You love the Prius.
But here's the downside
But-
with EVs being this bigger batteries.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the range that we all want to make it practical, right?
But you know what? You don't take this car on a road trip to, Toronto. You're not doing 1,000, 2,000 kilometer trips with a Hummer. This is a car that you drive around town. You want to take the roof off and go to the beach somewhere or whatever.
It's definitely not a city car.
No, but I mean it's around your area car. So I don't think it has to have the range of a Prius.
Does the weight disqualify it from being a legitimate off-road vehicle though? Like in a way, like you get in the mud, you're gonna get stuck.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched any reviews of this car, to be honest, in the mud or off-roading. I don't think I would off-road it anyways because it's 150 grand. Like
Well, it's meant for that.
Yeah, is it though? Yeah. Like
But cool factors.
Yeah, like Hummer has definitely turned into a more of a show brand than a utilitarian brand.
Look at this interior.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was nice, very modern. You can see like a lot of different hints from like the Sierra, like the shifters, like from out of the truck. There's a lot of small details and buttons from their GMC lineup. But yeah,
All right,
That's
good
cool.
pick.
Yeah, good three
So
picks.
Hummer over Cybertruck. I think we all agree.
yeah.
Ferrari collection, the GTD, and the.
CT5 or
CT5.
So wait, you've picked 4.
no, the Ferrari was just like I think we just
he was
yeah.
piggybacking off my great
That's
idea.
true. That's true. All right, sounds good. So for me, I think one of the highlights for me, if I can get to it, is this guy here.
The Nissan.
Okay, yeah.
I was genuinely surprised by the Nissan Z. With the Nismo package, totally appealing to me. It's something that I would.
I think look at the best angle though.
What's the
The
rear?
rear. How much was that car?
I don't know. It's like
That was
70
78.
Oh,
That was
sorry.
78,000 for the Nismo.
That's
the
pretty
non
good.
Nismo was 55.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think.
I mean,
but the Nismo you can't get manual.
no manual, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the only downside.
But we discussed this at the show, and we said it'd be really easy just to buy some red pinstripe tape and glue on the side spoiler pieces.
I think it looks so much better without the Nismo.
It does. I don't like the red striping
treatment.
anyways.
No.
But if you're like a Nismo fanboy, you want that red trim.
I just think it gives it that special oomph that was missing for me in the basic car.
Probably you could give it special oomph by coilovers, wheels, your own exhaust,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe different paint color.
Yeah, the Nismo, honestly, the only thing about it that makes it nicer is the rear spoiler
And the seats.
and the seats. Yeah.
That's the one downside for me.
Yeah.
The base car, the interior just felt so cheap. I wanted to get out of there. The Nismo interior was a bit more nicer with the bucket seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything else just felt so plasticky.
Are the front bumpers the same?
They are.
Nismo versus the other one?
They're not tacked on. They're a different bumper.
Different bumper?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Is there? You don't have a front shot of the other one, do you? Eh?
Oh, actually, no. They are stuck on.
I think it's just canards that are stuck on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have the.
Because see, I'm looking at the front. And I just see the two side canards.
Yeah.
Almost like 3M taped on the bumper.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
So it's not. I mean, it's just a small aero package.
Might as well do it aftermarket. Get the manual,
Or just get the OEM pieces and just put them on.
And then we talked about, it's a respectable car. It's like 400 horsepower.
I think it was
lots of fun.
It was more than 400. I think it was
No, the
450.
the Nismo was 20 more, 420, I think, and the base one was 400.
Yeah. The gearbox, the manual felt great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Actually, the manual felt more
More direct than your M2.
tighter than the M2.
Yeah.
Just like the Supra when we sat in it.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a great highlight to actually see this car in person. It was the first time I'm seeing it.
If you had a choice between this or the Supra, what would you take?
That's a tough choice. I would lean this way.
So the big thing is that this is NA and the Supra is turbocharged.
Oh, is it, eh?
It's a B58. It's a BMW motor, right? So I think the B58 is a superior motor, to be honest. I think it drives better.
Here it is.
Yeah. Like looks wise, I kind of prefer the Nissan.
Yeah,
I just find it's got simpler lines, a little more timeless styling. This is very, curvaceous, like a lot of different angles, very Lexus-y kind of inspired. Mind you, they've had great success with the Supra, from what I understand. This was a manual, right?
This was a manual.
Yeah.
The manual in this felt
Good too.
so good.
Yeah.
It felt very close to a GT3.
And then I hear 60% of all new Supras were ordered manual.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's
it's making
really,
a
in the
resurgence.
US or globally.
I don't know.
But the Supra, I think it just came out in a manual in 2024.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, they were only automatics, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a really tough call. I mean, it's a toss-up, really. It's 50-50.
You know, styling-wise, I'd say Nissan. And even though I haven't driven either of them, I can guarantee the Supra drives better.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's a good pick.
So the second highlight for me was the same as you, the ZR1.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. I was genuinely blown away by what this car is and what it's capable of. Over 1,000 horsepower.
Can you pull up a better spec? It's bothering me. Like I hate that spec.
What about that? Is it the wheels?
I think it's because it's like a gentleman's ZR1. It has no wing. It's a convertible. Like it's not the hard. Like it just doesn't look great. There's much nicer.
See if you can go 3LZ.
Yeah, 3LZ, like the yellow one.
Oh,
like look at the back. Look at the back. It's so much nicer with the canopy, like the rear window. Like that's so much nicer. They brought a really bad spec to the show, in my opinion.
Oh, it's right there. I think that's the same car. Must be their press car. Right?
You know, so this is what I think. The way the car was placed and how the lights were shining on it, it just distracted from everything on the car.
Go to that one, or the rear with that huge wing and the glass window.
The yellow bottom.
Up.
This guy?
No, up. Left. Right there. See? It's so much better looking it's so much more aggressive looking with the rear window and the spoiler. Almost more balanced. No stripes. You can see the hood on yellow much better.
Yeah.
It's just a better spec.
Yeah, later car shows the contrast.
I definitely wouldn't pick black and blue wheels like that was shown on the show.
But
floor.
like seeing that spec right there, I'm with Eric. I'd choose that over the GTD. Like for the money that you're spending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not active aero, which it doesn't really matter. I don't really care for
I don't
it
need
for the street.
active aero. Yeah.
Who are we?
Yeah, I know.
What, you got DRS zones? You got the Monaco Grand Prix coming up? Like,
Did you know that City is laying out DRS zones?
oh, good.
No, those are speed cameras.
Oh, so okay, wait. Before we move away from this,
No.
I dig that.
Why?
I like that.
I
I wouldn't
dig- I
do
don't like
that,
it.
but I like it.
You know, I don't want any stripes on my cars. Take the stickers off.
Yeah.
I want a solid color Corvette.
Damn, that looks good.
No, it's gonna age. It's gonna age
Look at
so
the
much
red one.
faster.
The red one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay.
Like look. Oh yeah, right
yeah,
there.
that's nice.
Oof.
Okay. Now you think about this for a second.
Okay.
This or the MC20?
So, if you're from this,
Yeah.
I think this is a badass car,
Yep.
and the sound alone is gonna sell you. Like,
V8. So this is one thing against the GT3 RS. The GT3 RS 9,000 RPM, amazing, but you got to get it up there
yeah,
on the streets. You get it up there, you're in a whole lot of trouble. This thing on a V8, even low RPMs,
It just
gonna
sounds
sound
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
All the time.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I honestly, I think this is like, if you're spending that kind of money, this is the car to get.
wow.
Yep.
Even orange looks amazing.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think any brighter color on this car other than black was gonna
Yeah, to
look.
show the contrast.
Yeah,
of-
you have to show the contrast, like the hood, the details on the back, even the trim detail on doors where the intake is.
Yeah.
That's all carbon. And when you're placing it against black, it kind of everything blends together. Like
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Allocation is going to be an issue, just like everything else.
no.
Well,
So,
sure, but I don't think it's going to be any more difficult.
I think they want to sell the car, to be honest.
The ZR1s are always the hard.
I'm
one
sure
to
they're
get.
spoken. I don't know how many they're making, but
I have a guy.
yeah.
No, seriously.
You bought. Yeah, you've been a
No,
big GM
I
customer.
have a guy. Like we've been through like 6 Denali's now, and I'm pretty sure he could get me a spot for this car.
Well, let's take that offline. I'd like to
Yeah,
see Preble explore this more.
yeah.
All right.
All right, so
35
you have
minutes.
2.
Let me show my third one. So I think the third one's a bit obvious too. I thought the Mustang GTD was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, just it was just a highlight of all the cars. Would I spend $475,000 on a Mustang? No. But
So short answer, I think a conclusive answer is that it's just too expensive for even a Mustang derivative. It's still a Mustang at the end of the day, no matter how much it's built up from the ground. And I mean, push rod suspension in the rear, like it's not even a Mustang.
Yeah.
But the fact they called it a Mustang makes it questionable, you know?
I mean, there's the Mustang SUV. It's not the.
That's the problem. I think
They're
that's
selling the name.
Yeah, but that, I think that's part of the problem. Is like you have a Mustang for 46,000 Canadian, then you have a Mach E Mustang, and then you have this, which falls in the same. So you're at the grocery and like you park next to like a Mach E.
That's a fair point.
And then the lady's like, "Oh, I have a Mustang too."
Ford, leave the Mustang alone. They sullied it in the wrong, like by cheapening it with the Mach E, and now they're obviously classing it up with the GTD.
Yeah.
But just like people want the Mustang.
Yeah,
It was the, what do they call it? Like I forget the name of it. Not the pony car, but like the secretary's sports car, something like that. Back when it was introduced.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, something like it. It was never meant to
from
be
Ford
Yeah. I'll
Stealth.
No, that's a Dodge Stealth.
Oh, okay, fine.
Anyways,
But
Anyway,
here's the
just
thing.
call it a Stallion or something, you know, like just change the
But
name
wait,
and
though, I mean, to counter that, how is this any different from the 911? There's like
a
10
base
different-
Carrera and a
Yeah.
GT3 RS.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
go there. And I have a 911. Okay, great.
You're right. You're right
Yeah.
to a certain point, but I think the Mach E is where everything fell apart because the Mustang was always had it up like a Cobra R. There was an SVT lineup. It was always a performance-based sports car, and I think when Mach E was introduced as a Mustang, it kind of washed out,
yeah, devalued
the car, in my opinion. You know,
Well, maybe this is their penance.
maybe.
Overshooting now
Yeah.
to say we're sorry.
Yeah, but name aside, it's still a great car.
It's an
It
amazing
was
car.
really impressive. Definitely a showstopper.
What they've done that's coming out of North America, taking it up to the GT3 RS. I'd love to see this happen.
Yeah,
Can I have one honorable mention?
sure.
Quickly.
You get 4. Okay.
Well, I mean,
He got 4, I guess.
He's the host, though.
Go
so
ahead.
one honorable mention. I
Okay.
think we can all agree.
Sure.
Okay.
And then we'll move to your.
I want to hear it.
All right.
It is the Mercedes
Very good.
GT63.
I agree with you.
I think this is such a perfect daily driver sports car that'll take it to the 911 turbo.
Yep. It doesn't even have to be the turbo now because
Oh, that's true.
a 911 S or you know is
The same price.
220, like a well spec one that
Yeah.
would equal this
Yeah.
is 225,000.
So this thing has GT63, which is the twin turbo V8. It has the GT55, which is the same V8 but detuned.
Okay.
And you can get that for less.
Just get a 6 and just debadge it and put a 6 on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Well, you might need the 3 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from a price point perspective and what they're doing, they're going straight after the 911, the 911 Carrera S or GTS and the turbo.
Yeah.
And whatever's going to come after, it's going to go after the GT3 RS, the GT3s. So
Did they do the updated GTR of this?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This has back seats,
Yep.
all-wheel drive. The amount of space this car offers you as a family car, it's amazing. You can put 2 full-size suitcases in the back. If you watch Rokinar's
Yeah,
race
I've
before-
been meaning to watch his video because he compared it directly against this GT3 Touring, which is actually a really
Yeah, it's a good.
it's an extreme comparison because the value of the car is much higher and it's not. You know, I think this is more competitive against a Carrera Turbo just because it is turbocharged and
The 63 is 1-to-1 with the turbo.
yeah,
The
Price-wise.
55, or performance, everything.
yeah.
Numbers, everything. But it's a V8 that's going to sound so much better than a turbo,
yeah.
in my opinion.
The only thing that kind of I'm not sure if you have a picture of the back, but that wing looks horrible.
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
So there is the higher up aero kit version of
That's
it.
stationary
that
or-
has a fixed wing, which I think is the way I would go.
Would you want a fixed wing on this car?
I would prefer that over this.
I would just code that out. Like I would just stop it from going up.
But it's for stability. It's an important piece.
Well, come
To
on.
be
Nah.
honest, it is. When you're doing 200 kilometers an hour, that thing is creating downforce
Yeah, but
for safety
like
as
if a
well.
Honda EK with a Vader body kit can go 200, I'm pretty sure I can do it in a GT63 without the wing up. You know.
Well, it doesn't have the amount of torque and horsepower,
Yeah.
though.
But that wing isn't really a wing. Like look at it.
But so it's a functional thing. for stability.
Just if you're going 200 kilometers, just load your family up in the car to weigh it down.
Yeah.
It's the safe
Shove
thing
your
to
kids
do.
in the back.
Yeah.
You know.
So let me show you.
It definitely needs to be stanced with wheels, though. It did sit high. Eh?
Yeah, the suspension was a little high. Show me the wing package. I'll tell you if it's worthy.
I think it is.
What's it called? Just an aero package, I guess.
GT3 Pro.
Okay, I see the wing in the back. Oh yeah,
I see. And that is fixed.
That is
okay.
fixed.
Is there a picture from further away? Oh, yeah, it's fluid. It looks good.
Okay.
Carbon pack and everything else.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah. So the only thing that I think we all discussed this at the show is how this will depreciate in comparison to like a turbo. Because this car isn't cheap. It's still big money.
So here's the thing. Turbo is not in a category where it won't depreciate.
No, it does
Those
depreciate.
Cars depreciate.
They do depreciate.
It's not a GT class, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is going to depreciate just as much as a GT
Yeah. But so let's, and I think, I was comparing this car with the previous generation GTR, which is a top tier car in that category.
Cool. 18.
Yeah, or even a 2022, like a GTR. Almost half the price now. Those cars are
They're
going
170?
cheaper.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're getting a lot more. I think it looks more special just because it's less of a GT car. It's more of like a performance car.
But you don't get the back seats.
No back seats. Yeah. But I mean,
yeah,
that's
cool. I think you could. I'd love to see one of us own this and mod it.
Congratulations.
Yes. So, there we go.
You're the closest one. There you go.
Lydia's gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, that's the next topic. So let's conclude on this.
Can I do a low light though of the show?
Oh yeah, let's
go.
Okay,
sure.
So the one, and maybe this will speak for all of us, but I think you guys noticed this as well. As I was walking through,
okay,
just overall, the price of everything, whether we stopped at the GR Corolla, and I'm looking at the price, and for $890 a month for 60 months.
84 months.
No, it was 60 months on this one. We can get you in this car.
Well,
and I thought, it's like, wow. Like,
you just have to check the 84-month box and it'll be
enough. Doing that?
Negative equity, here I come.
Right. The car will be in the landfill and you'll still be making payments on it. I like you had the Volkswagen ID Buzz up there. I thought that was such a cool vehicle, and I've seen them outfitted differently for...
Wait, are you bringing a new highlight?
No, but...
He is. This is your fourth, Eric.
No. But I'm going somewhere with this. I thought this is cool. Like, it's a minivan, or I think that's the class. But then I saw the price of this. That's me looking at the price right now.
He just walked
disappointed.
Like $90,000.
This is $90,000?
$90,000.
That's insane.
Who is like, and that's not even outfitted.
Look of disappointment and shock.
This is $90,000. You got to be out of your effing loving mind. Yeah. So cool, really cool vehicle, great street presence, but it was like one of many vehicles. Yeah. It wasn't until I think I saw the Jetta GLI that I thought, okay, like the average Canadian can afford, it was like $38,000, but everything in the show that was interesting was $100,000 ish.
Yeah. It's minimum $100,000.
Well, no, I'd say 70 is like the.
Well, it was 70. Like, okay, like we love
like your truck,
the GMC Canyon.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
That should have been one of my highlights.
Okay. I'm surprised you didn't say it.
Well, it was so obvious. I talked.
Okay, are you taking another highlight?
No.
Okay, so your
light was just the cost of things, and how I think cars are maybe priced out. Like a minivan from Volkswagen is now $100,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's my garage door.
Oh, okay.
At home. So to me, I think that the low of the show was the missing brands.
Yeah.
Range Rover, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, BMW. Like these are the brands that we all kind of follow and go to show interest in, and they're all missing. So I mean, it was a great show. We kind of know what these brands offer anyways, because we follow them so closely. So I wasn't really going there to see anything in particular. Just their presence was kind of surprising.
Okay.
Their presence was surprising.
I agree. I think that was one of my low lights too. The fact that Audi wasn't there, BMW wasn't there,
Yeah.
Porsche wasn't there. It would have been nice to see some of their cars.
It'd be great to see a well-spec GT3 RS, even though I know what the car looks like, just to see it on a podium, or even bring an ST. It's such a rare, unicorn. None of us will probably see it in person.
Yeah.
Bring it to the show. Show the people how it looks,
Yeah, I agree. Before we end on this topic, I wanted to call out John's highlights as well.
Okay.
He joined us as well, right? So he had Mustang GTD was top of the list. I think we all know why.
Who is John, by the way?
John Jameer.
Introduce John to
Oh,
the...
we had
He's
a
a general
friend.
manager of Alfa Romeo Maserati. We
There
did
you
a
go.
podcast with him on the Maserati.
Oh,
Group,
yes, you
right?
did. You're right. Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
come.
good old John.
It's too bad. We could have planned this better, maybe to try and get him in here as well.
Yeah.
But next
Well,
time.
we were planning to do a little podcast in the car on the way home,
Yeah.
but then we almost crashed, so...
We did not crash. See, actually, it's funny you say that here.
That's us crashing.
Just drive, man. Just drive. And then Hummer EV was another highlight
Okay.
for him, and Ferrari collection. So
Okay.
I think it all kind of resonates
aligned.
with
Yeah.
what we were saying as well. So that wraps up our Montreal Auto Show highlights and lowlights.
Yeah. Overall, thumbs up.
Would you go again next
Yeah,
year?
I think it was a good show, and I'm hoping next year there'll be even more, because I'm comparing this show to the show we went to 2 years ago, and
Way
it was
better.
way better.
More people.
This show was way better.
Yes.
Yeah. Than
more
the 2 years
people,
ago.
more cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away because we went at the tail end of the COVID lockdown being lifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, let's all go.
Yeah.
And not
Mind
as
you,
many
I,
people.
when we went there, they did have some cool hypercar stuff. They had the Singer DLS. They had a full carbon Bugatti.
But that was a private
Chiron.
collection, though.
Yeah, but they had some cool cars. But in general, this show was, I think, better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wraps it up. If you've been to the Montreal Auto Show and you're local in the area, what were your highlights? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. Moving on to topic number 2. Eric,
You want to set it up?
you're in the market for a car.
So yeah, my wife, her daily driver is a Mercedes GLC63. We've had it for about 5 years now, close to 5 years. I'm just looking to trade it or that into something else. As I said, I was hoping to go to the show. For the viewers at home, the conversation around my house is I'm really trying to push for a GMC Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
My wife doesn't want a pickup truck, but she does pickup truck things. Like she
put soil in the trunk of the
well,
GLC.
totally. Like we're getting lumber, and she's super handy in DIY with stuff. So I can't talk her into this.
Wait, what do you have right now?
So the wet
the
one right
GLC
there.
43, yes,
Pretty much.
yeah, pretty much like that. We love it. Like it's compact. Maybe I'll give you what we like about it. So it's compact car, so good, decent for commuting and getting in and out of parking garages. 360 horsepower. She's got a heavy foot, so that makes it fun for her. And I drive it too sometimes, so I do like that. So I'm not above getting another fast SUV.
Lots of rubber.
No, not. We should have more rubber. But to be fair to her, because she might watch this one. this is the one she'll watch. She actually hasn't curbed any of these wheels.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is a first in a vehicle for her. One time I had a Grand Cherokee, and I put like these nice Belgian wheels on. 3 times I had them refinished. 3 times.
Yeah.
No lessons were
She
learned.
shaved 4 millimeters of aluminum. Yeah.
Less unsprung mass, man. You're faster.
Yeah.
Unsprung weight.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a problem statement. What do we get next?
So you want luxury. You want a little bit of usable power.
Yeah.
Compactness.
Compact. Because you and I had the same opinion on the CX-70 Mazda. Like, I like it. It's a beautiful looking SUV, but it's too, when we looked that up close at the Montreal Auto Show, I think it's a great looking SUV. It's just too big. Like, we already have.
There's
I
a
have
smaller version of it.
CX-5.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CX-90 is pretty nice.
It's a nice SUV.
Yeah.
The paint's great. The interior, I was surprised by the interior of that car. Like, it's finished really well. There's Alcantara on the dash, stitching everywhere. Like, it's, I mean, I'm not sure what the power plant in that Mazda is. Like, what is it, a 6-cylinder?
There's 3 options. There's a mild hybrid, there's a full hybrid, and then there's like the inline 6 turbo, I think. It's an inline 6 turbo that does like 330 horse.
Yeah. Yeah,
look
Yeah,
at
there it is. So it's like it's a nice
Yeah,
looking.
it looks nice. I mean, the paint doesn't even translate on camera, but it is a great color. Like it's a very McLaren-esque pearl red.
But it doesn't fit the bill for you.
No, it's too big. For we don't need two big SUVs in our life. She doesn't want a sedan. She wants to ride higher. Honestly, like I think we drove back and forth to the show in the Macan.
Oh
We
yeah,
later found out it was Macan S.
Yeah, we sorted that out.
We were shitting on it the whole time, like this base Macan with a plastic
So
dash.
here's the
Well,
thing.
but I said it sounded so good. I'm like, how is this a
It did,
four-cylinder?
you know what? It did sound much better than I thought for base, and now that explains it.
It's a Macan S.
Yeah.
But here's the downside with that. We drove it. It's a loaner car while my Cayenne Turbo is getting whole new camera system put into it. It was a Macan S, but with the base
Bare
interior.
bones.
Yeah,
It didn't have air suspension. It didn't have the leather interior. It didn't have any of the luxuries.
It rode actually pretty well, to be honest.
I think it drives better than the SQ5.
Yeah.
Just now having them side by side. I love the drive of the Macan S.
yeah.
I got the car with literally 80 kilometers on it. It was pretty much brand new. But when I first drove it, it didn't feel good. But then I think as I drove it, it broke it in. It started really coming onto its own, which was really amazing.
Yeah. So I enjoyed our commute to Montreal and back in it. And my wife would love a Macan. She's always liked those.
You've been talking about the Macan even last year.
Well, even before I got the GLC, I was considering Macan, but I think the GLC just offers a little more for the money.
Really?
They're about, so the GLC 43 is comparable to a Macan GTS, and it's probably 20,000 cheaper.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is cheaper.
Yeah.
The Macan is for its size, it's fairly expensive, to be honest. An X3 or a GLC is going to be much better value.
So
the new the new Mercedes GLC 43 is about 105 new. And I'm sure that's kind of like a little bit less than what a new Macan GTS is.
A GTS is 130.
Yeah, okay. So it's about 25.
So would you consider brand new or used?
I'm probably going to use. We typically we keep our cars for a while. I usually like to buy 1 or 2 years old with low kilometers.
If that's the case, then the Mercedes will depreciate the most. So you could get something for a good value then.
Yeah, probably.
You can.
Like you can get a 2022. Now it's 3 model years old for like high 50s.
Okay, Eric, I'm not liking the way the conversation is going. I thought we were going to have more Canyon talk here. What's going on? Tell us more about the Canyon.
There's no one more disappointed about it than me. Okay.
So what are Lydia's concerns with getting a
But
truck?
wait, before we go there, did you actually have the conversation?
Yes.
About the Canyon?
I when we were at the show, I sent her a picture of the Canyon, the GMC Canyon, and I said, "Congrats on your new car." She laughed and said, "You mean your new car? I'm not driving that."
Really? Eh? This is you testing out the Canyon, right?
That's the Canyon, yeah.
Is that the Canyon?
That's the AT4X.
That's the AT4X.
Yeah, but it's Canyon, so.
But I like the Denali actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of more understated visually, but
A little more mature and luxurious.
much like me, mature and luxurious. Yeah, it's not a big truck. It's a nice size.
So what are her concerns with it then?
It's too big. I got to go in parking garages. I don't want to drive a truck.
This is it.
Yeah, that's the AT4X.
But you wouldn't do the
That's the
AT4.
offer. No, I wouldn't even get that one for the way I use
A bit
it.
too aggressive, I guess.
Yeah.
Tacoma was a
Tacoma,
great looking truck.
Yeah, you and that guy at Toyota talked for a long
Well,
time.
he had some great points. I mean, he was very knowledgeable too. But Toyota, I think they really overhyped the Tacoma. To be honest, a lot of people are very like brand loyal, and all the Tacoma boys are running to the Tacoma. But seeing it in person, I mean, it's got a decent motor. All their motors now are the iForce motors. I don't think they're going to be as reliable as the past Tacomas, and I find the interiors are just not on par with any other competition. It's a great looking truck. They have cool trims. The TRD, like, do I want coilovers in my seat? No, I don't need that. Like, you know,
it wasn't cool. It was
it's
like
a huge
live suspension seats or something like that.
it's a
Like active
coilover.
suspension
It's a-
seats. Yeah.
So it's like floating around.
In the back of the seat.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't need that. I just
it's
give me a
ridiculous.
good suspension instead.
It's like a waterbed.
yeah.
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 So there's some, gimmick style features on that truck, but I think GM in terms of trucks compared to Dodge or Ford, really stole the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're. I mean, for me, who's not been a pickup truck guy, I'm thinking solely about GMC pickups.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to like the my wife's second car. So I don't think I'll persuade her on a GMC Canyon. So we're back to, I know in the comments, the GLC63, which I love. They don't make a GLC63 beyond the coupe, I think, anymore.
Oh,
and
really?
honestly, this is just one car I do not like in the coupe.
But also, do you need the 63?
No.
Yeah.
I do indeed.
Oh, but you'd want a 23, right?
Well, they have it.
Well, they do make a
25.
GLC63 with
Yeah.
a
But he's
standard.
not buying brand new, though.
Yeah, okay, but if
But they still have it in a 23 or 24.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
See, I think that looks good.
I think it looks amazing.
Well, the G63 always, GLC63 always looked
Was
really
it a hybrid?
good.
First hybrid SUV?
I guess so. It's probably a mild hybrid,
Yeah.
Like a torque fill.
like a torque fill.
Okay.
But they always look good, and then they have more aggressive fenders,
Yep.
the lower ride height, nicer wheels. I mean, it's an AMG,
It's like 500 horsepower, right?
yeah.
So you think this is too much for
Well, for
Lady
her,
A?
I do. For her driving style, like speeding tickets and
Really, eh?
yeah.
How much is the 63?
New would be 150.
Okay.
New is
what
150.
Yeah.
They don't come up often, but I bet you're 100,000 for a used low mileage example.
That's 43.
That's a 43.
To 43.
43.
Yeah.
See, there's not. They don't even sell them. They're just there.
Yeah.
You go,
Wait, we got one?
right there. 62.
That's a 2019. That's too old.
Yeah,
You
61,000
get the warranty,
kilometers.
man. You'll be
It's
fine.
5 years old.
So what's the mileage you're looking at? Like 20K?
That's 61,000 kilometers on it.
Yeah. So
Well,
you're look-
okay, pull it up. I do like that car.
Yeah, and it's white and it's nice. That's a good price. 60 grand for a 63. I mean, the mileage is not high.
It's not for that year. It's not high.
Yeah,
That looks good.
It looks amazing.
yeah. Where's that? Quebec.
And it's no
It's got
different.
weather and it's got weather techs.
Perfect in the trunk.
It's sold.
But this is the thing, though. How different is this compared to the 25 or the 24?
It's
or the
different.
23?
The interior is different. Everything. It's a big difference.
Yeah, my mom my mom has a GLC 43 as well. The whole family loves them. And hers is like a 2023, I think. And the interior is even different than Lydia's.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the interior you guys have now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Not,
new
without
one,
the red.
so the new one has the like S-Class style interior.
The technology is way different. The infotainment.
Okay. Okay. So too much power, regardless.
Yeah.
So it's out of the equation.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably having a compact or performance SUV conversation right now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can sell.
So
Yeah.
here, I wanted to ask you about this.
Yeah.
So when we were at the GMC booth, when we were looking at the Hummer, we signed up for
The
a
voucher,
competition.
the-
Yeah. So the thing is, you get $75,000 off.
Towards any GMC
Did you
product.
win?
No.
Oh.
Well, he probably will.
Yeah.
Better luck. So what happens if you do win that voucher?
He's getting a Canyon.
I'm getting a ZR1.
Wait, you just need
front
100
end,
grand
the hood.
more.
He's gonna
You know
get
what?
the
We're
hood.
getting a Canyon. I'll just say I didn't actually have an option. This is what they gave me.
Yeah.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So what will
And I know that she would grumble, but I think in time she would learn to love.
quality
the
was
GMC
good on the
Canyon.
interior? It's
Great.
not like
You know what? I think people who haven't driven a truck are afraid of trucks because they are larger. My wife drives my truck all the time. It's parked in the driveway. If she's going to the grocery just to get something quick, she'll just jump in my truck and take it. And it's a full size. It's a half ton.
Yeah.
And she has no issue parking it, commuting, nothing. She goes to stores and you know, it's just getting comfortable with the truck and driving it a few times before knowing its dimensions.
yeah.
So I don't think it's just you know,
I mean, even dimensions. Like you got all these sensors now, 360 camera.
our roads are so wide and big. It's just it doesn't feel that large in the road.
The Canyon is a smaller truck.
Yeah.
So she'll get used
I think
to
it'd
it.
be fine.
You don't have to sell me.
Yeah.
Well, guys, welcome to my life. I think everyone's getting a taste of. I don't think we're any further ahead, but I don't know if you would land it. I think you might throw up a Macan S. I don't really love the BMW X3.
Take a look at the new BMWs, the 1M, X1M.
Oh,
Let's
so
see it.
actually,
Throw it
Chris from Autos just picked up a X1 M Sport, And I was like actually impressed with the car. Like the quality and the finishes were not it's an X1M Sport, but yeah, I guess you can call it X1M. It's not an X1M though.
Or M35.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's $60,000.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah.
And it's
what's
twin turbo, 6-cylinder, 350 horsepower.
wow.
Yeah. And it's actually it's a good size. Like X1 was always a smaller car. This thing has sport seats. It's the same size as the outgoing X3.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's giving me Audi vibes.
I do like that car.
Yeah.
I know. I
But pull up the interior. It's actually quite like it looks nice. For 60 grand, it's hard to go wrong.
I mean, it's hard to tell the I don't know how small it is, but it's fine. Like
It's-
we have small kids.
it's not
still,
small, but it's smaller than my X5. If you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'll be about the same size as the GLC.
You think it's comparable to GLC?
It's it's like very similar to your GLC right now. Like
Okay.
You'll find the Macan is slightly bigger than the GLC. Just ever so slightly bigger.
maybe it's more round, I guess. It's more like egg shaped a little bit.
Like, look at the seats.
Can
Yeah.
you pick? There's one at a local dealer, the Elite there, the left.
Yeah.
This guy here?
No, keep going. Well, I guess the
white one.
The white
Yeah,
one.
60 some, brand new. Is it a 35? It is.
35.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate these websites.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, give me something better, man. Oh, here we go.
Panel roof.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's for value. It's a great car,
I see them
and it's
driving,
brand new, warranty, everything for
Yeah.
60 grand,
Yeah.
I see them driving by, and it
Okay.
catches my eye every single time.
and they're quick because they're not big and they have a pretty decent motor.
Oh, it's a 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah,
That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you said you wanted like a little bit of fun factor for you as well, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, you said 350 horse, or is that? a
I'm
guess?
not sure this spec specifically, but it's around 300 horsepower.
Is it?
Look it up. What's the 35i power?
313.
Yeah,
horsepower.
313.
It's not bad for a small
Yeah.
SUV.
It's zippy because it's not not a huge car.
It's lightweight. I like the sharp lines of this one now.
And it's got even the arches, they stick a little bit. They have a little fender flare that gives it a little bit more
What's the BMW warranty? Is it
like
40
powertrain.
or 80?
Yeah,
With the chance for extended warranty too, right?
yeah, you can do 2 or 3 years extended, I think. Too.
So there is. So I know I got this email from Elite or Autos BMW actually, talking about the interest rates, the lease rates. They have some pretty good rates right now. 2.9, 1.9.
yeah,
I mean, I typically buy, but yeah, maybe if it was their money instead, sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Potential lease.
Anyways, it's a good option too.
Lead. That's a good lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to bring this all back, you haven't concluded.
No.
The GLC 63.
Well, we're missing one very important person to have this conversation at the table.
Do we need an
Maybe
intervention?
throw up some suggestions to Eric. What do you think would be
Yeah.
a great daily
Yeah,
driver
drop
for
that
his
in the
wife?
comments.
Drop some comments and see, and maybe introduce us to something we don't know. Like there's there is the Alpha SUV.
Oh yeah, don't forget about Maserati.
the Grecale.
Yeah.
Probably.
So there are cars that
Actually, it's good value, but it's a lot of power. You don't need the Trofeo.
It's also more than that. Like it's like this is 66 brand new. I think it's more than that, right?
But you don't need the Grecale. Or sorry, you don't need the Trofeo. You can get the entry.
How much is that one? Around
The
the same?
Trofeo was 130.
Yeah. So I think John
Trofeo.
was saying
Yeah, that's
it's
double
about
that.
70 grand for the base engine
Yeah.
with all the options you want.
Yeah.
We should go on test drives.
Yes. We should. We did that. That video did really well when I sat down with John doing the.
But not just one. We'll just dealership hop. Like just drive one after the other.
Yeah.
That way you
how
get a good
about
idea.
one per episode? That way it's a little easier on us.
Turn into like car reviews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. road
Anyways,
testing.
worth it.
What do you all think? Like one car an episode, or do you want us to do car?
Or just sit at this table and keep talking.
All right, so let's conclude.
All right.
You haven't settled. There are short lists now. Potentially a Macan S and a GLC 43 new version of what you already have, or the X.
This is interesting. Yeah.
The X1
X1M.
135i.
Yep.
What do you all think? Let us know in the comments below as well. Maybe next podcast,
Help
you
a
let us
brother
settle.
out here. Help a brother. I'm dying here, guys.
All right, let's wrap this up then.
All right.
I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, like, subscribe, do all those things. Leave a comment down below. What do you all think about our highlights from the Montreal Auto Show? Have you been to it? Let us know in the comment below as well. Thank you all.
Awesome.
And thank you for joining and doing this again.
Back in the studio.
Back in the studio. We might have to go change it up again.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question out. So we've been to 3 locations. We've been to Eric's house, we've been to Lucas's house, and this is the studio back to base camp. Where do you prefer the most?
I think we have a solid mic and audio setup in this location, so the videos might be better from here. But I think we're getting better at the offsite podcast.
I just got to figure out the mic situation.
Yeah, I think the audio has been pretty good.
I
We
struggle.
got to break in my bar with a podcast too.
Yes.
There you go.
We can do that.
Maybe next one we'll go
A
back
little
to
evening
you.
vibe, you know?
Yeah, let's do that next one.
All right.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.
See ya.